Yo, y'all know what it is. It's your man Jaguar coming at y'all with another Atlantis build. Salute to the subscribers, salute to everybody in the chat, salute to the panel. Y'all already know, man. We got some of the team with us. Big bro Corey Mayo.
We got
representing the 432 drop, man. Shout out to 432. Still holding it down. Still got plenty of info, giving good info that's helping people advance their information and reach higher and clearer and better understanding, man. Shout out to AP, yo. AP just did a live stream, heavy building on the 2020 census. Salute to you, little bro. You already know, man. We in here.
Gratitude, brother. It's always a pleasure, bro. You already know we about to get it in.
You know what I mean? Get it in. You know, I got to give a special shout out to my grandmother. She just passed over the weekend. You know, she was the first one to pretty much tell me, you know, you ain't no African. We ain't no African. And I want you to tell me how you is an African. And I still can't do it to this day. So, yeah. We did a little
Yeah,
moment
man. We can.
grandmother, if you could.
Please, 30 seconds.
It's my heart. So I'm just asking just a little moment of silence for the people that's with us right now. You know what I'm saying? This is dedicated to her. My energy is dedicated to her and all the grandmothers and all our family members that are meeting up on the other side right now as we speak. Because right now what we doing is uniting our people, our blood, and our energies with the right sources so they can keep us moving forward. You see what I'm saying? So moment of silence right quick. for all the people that's gone, y'all, not just me individually for what's going on, but for all our people.
That's what's up. Yeah. So we just here to build, like Jai was saying, man. Put all the entertainment aside, all the gossip, all that aside. Let's just build again. So, I'm glad to be here again, Jaguar. Thanks for having me. It's been a while since we did Atlantis. Nice to have an AP here too. You know, and so yeah, let's get started, man.
That's right, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna get into some of this Atlantis and the antediluvian world. Next is Donald, highly spoken and recommended people on the Atlantis topics. And of course, we're gonna go into some more of the Atlantis in America by Ivar, Zapp, and George Erickson. Some more drop on traditional and original race of America, man. So this will help clarify and give a better understanding of why we should start policing ourselves and policing our own people, establishing our own government and security, so we won't have to be proven to nobody who we are. But right now, of course, you should have something to prove or something to show that you who you say you are. So it's all gonna come to a broad appearance real soon. There's still some filtration we got to do. I don't know what's been going on as far as with certain individuals or whoever has personal issues out here with certain people. We do this for information and to help people try to understand and get a better clarity of what's taking place and where we come from. This ain't got nothing to do with anybody trying to follow or trying to get anybody to follow or trying to get anybody to mislead someone to misbehaving in a manner that is going to go against their progression, that is going to take strength away from them having a foundation or something to stand on for their community and their families. This ain't no time to be playing games on a macro level, trying to be picky about specific things that people say if it don't have a power in progressing the people as a whole. It's time out for all of this, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even that old to be recognizing little simple games that shouldn't be even in our thought forms right now, man. Half of us really don't even know each other, and some of us, are really getting to know each other. So it should be all peace before we really do get to know each other in a real way. Should nobody be having any speculations that should cause any segregation or anybody to go against somebody, that hasn't done any personal harm or that has forced you to move or to believe anything that you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? This is what really being real and original is about. The true American spirit and original people of the land will stand and stand together sooner or later. It's not about keeping all this diversity amongst the people, man.
That's exactly right. And I just want to add, people telling you stuff and making statements, even if it's talking about gossip or knowledge, make them prove it, man. This is the year, Wanagi, let them know, man. This is the year, 2019. You got to prove it. If you're doing false witness, prove it, man. And if you're following these people that are telling you these lies, then you better ask them to prove it, And then if you don't, then you're looking suspect too, you know what I mean? So are you contributing to the separation and the hate? Or are you really building, uniting, or you just want to be entertained? Like right now, we got others on the live right now. That's entertainment. So are we gonna build? Are we gonna learn? Or do you just want to keep being entertained? That's why TV is for. You got reality shows there. So if you want to be entertained, just turn on the TV. You know what I mean? So that's all I wanted to say.
Word, man. So just want to let that be known, and there will be a bill coming up soon. A few more brothers and some of our leaders that people are giving a role to, you know, in this so-called community. You know, I'm seeing that some people is using this as a community for real, and some people really is using this as social media. So I'm trying to really get a community started here. You know, I'm not trying to waste nobody's time leading them into some BS that ain't got nothing to do with anybody. You know, it's just trying to keep it going on a broader scale, you know, because it's bigger than just us. You know what I'm saying? You know how it's still thousands and thousands, if not millions, of people who do not watch YouTube. So I don't know, you know, what's the fuss about YouTube? You know what I'm saying? It's too much going on out here in the world to be focused on YouTube. You know, I know it's worthy, it helps, but it's a whole lot of people out here that do not watch this straight up, and we got to keep it real with each other. There's a whole lot of people that don't know anything about any of our channels. You know what I'm saying? We still growing. Yeah, they taking time and building trends off of what we doing, but we got to realize that it ain't just us. You know what I'm saying? So let's just keep it rolling, man. We about to get into this antediluvian world real quick, man. Corey Mayo, I know you might want to start that off with the letting them know exactly what.
So just a little bit about the author, right? Because I guess you guys don't know, I've mentioned in my videos before. It's so we're reading from Atlantis, the Antediluvian World. It says here it's a pseudo archeological book published in 1882. They call it pseudo because, but you'll see what we're about to read. Donnelly considered Plato's account of Atlantis as largely factual and suggested that all known ancient civilizations were descended from this lost land. All right, so it's Ignatius Donnelly is the author. He's basically letting you know that Atlantis is not a myth. You know, it's factual, and he goes into it really deep. I mean, if you get the book, you can see it for yourself. Many of his theories are the source of many modern concepts from about Atlantis. So all the stuff you hear about Atlantis mostly comes from him, including these: the civilization and technology beyond its time, the origins of all present races and civilizations, and a civil war between good and evil. All right, so it keeps going. All the people that quote off him and that you know, like Blavatsky and Augustus Leplejon, and all these people who took the whole New Age thing, right? But we're just talking about you. All right, that's what we're trying to show here, and we can get started with the book, I guess, right?
Let's do it, man. Yeah, I already know.
Find them.
Y'all bear with us. Y'all know we like to read, so
Stop sharing this. Share the book.
about to get it in.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about like the whole word Atlantis. All right. Let's stop sharing, man. There we go. I'm trying to stop sharing so I can share the other thing.
Okay.
I can do that. This Google Hangouts thing, man.
Yeah, y'all bear with. You know, it be the tabs too. How they try to.
Can you kick me off? I don't got control of the thing.
All right. I just
All
clicked off
right,
of it. But...
here we go. All right, whatever you did. All right. You can see the screen now?
It ain't sharing the screen yet. It's got you on the screen.
Oh shit! All right, man. This is acting up, man.
All right. Y'all bear with us. Trying to get it lined up real quick. It's finna go down. All right. I think that's it right there. If you got it.
I don't know. I can't see. Okay, here, stop sharing. There we go. You see it now?
Not now. It was up.
All right. This Google thing is on like super slow, man. I don't know.
All right. Let me put you you in control right quick.
Yeah, man, you gotta give me. I don't know. It's like stuck everything.
All right.
It's sharing now.
You should be able to do it a little better now.
It says it's sharing on my side. I don't know.
All right, there you go. All right.
All right. All right. So we're in chapter. So you can see it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So we're in chapter 4. It says here, corroborating circumstances in this book. Ignatius Donnelly's Atlantis, the Antediluvian World. And just wanted to basically emphasize about the word Atlantic or Atlas, right? And the whole word Atlantis, where does it come from? So it says here, whence comes the word Atlantic? The dictionaries tell us that the ocean is named after the mountains of Atlas, right? So that's what the dictionaries tell us, right? That is from West Africa, right? But whence did the Atlas Mountains get their name, right? So who named them? Says the word Atlas and Atlantic have no satisfactory etymology in any language known to Europe. All right, on that side. So don't be saying Mediterranean. Don't be like quoting Plato. Don't be quoting Plato and all these Greeks. That's not their words. They are not Greek and cannot be referred to any known language of the old world. And that side of the world, because this is the true old world, right? So they mean over there. But in the Nahuatl language, what is the Nahuatl language, right? We're talking about Mexica. Mexico, Mesoamerica, right? And all the way up to Utah. That's what they call it. Utah Aztecan, all that.
That's right.
So, but in the Nahuatl language, we find immediately the radical A or ATL, right? We're talking about ATL, Atlanta. What are we talking about? Which signifies water, or in the top of the head. Molina, vocab, and lengua mexicana, and castellana. That's where you can get that. From this comes a series of words such as Atlan, on the border of a mid the water. So that's like saying by the water, from which we have the adjective Atlantic. We also have Atlaca or Atlasa, to combat or be in agony. It means likewise to hurl or dart from the water. And in the preteric makes Atlas. A city named Atlan existed when the continent was discovered by Columbus. All right, so Columbus found a city named Atlan at the entrance of the Gulf of Uraba and Darien. We're talking about down there in Panama, Costa Rica, and Colombia, down those areas. With a good harbor, it is now reduced to an unimportant pueblo named Aklan. All right, so we just wanted to clear that out, that whole thing. So when you listen and hear Atlantis, it didn't start over there on that side. The Greeks didn't make that word. You know, they just added the tis, right? So Atlantis, right? That Latin Greek thing, they always do that, you know. So I guess you can go to your part. We're gonna talk about the Atlanteans now, how they looked.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? So that's just more clarity for the people, man. You know, to help you out. And now we finna give you some more drop to help you realize how to identify yourself. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but just a little extra, man. So bear with us. Y'all know how we do. Okay. So we got right here in chapter 5, the question of complexion. Okay. So it says here, the tendency of scientific thought and ethnology is in the direction of giving more and more importance to the race characteristics, such as height, color of the hair, eyes, and skin, and the formation of the skull and body generally, then to language. The language possessed by a people may be merely the result of conquest or migration. Okay, so this is why language, you can kind of get far with language by, of course, recognizing easily who may have colonized them by the language people speak. So, for instance, in the United States, today, white, black, and red men, the descendants of French, Spanish, Italians, Mexicans, Irish, Germans, Scandinavians, Africans, all speak the English language. And by the test of language, they are all Englishmen. And yet none of them are connected by birth or descent with the country where that language was developed. Okay. Colonization. There is a general misconception as to the color of the European and American races. Europe is supposed to be peopled exclusively by white men. But in reality, every shade of color is represented on that continent, from the fair complexion of the Faroes of the Swedes to the dark-skinned inhabitants of the Mediterranean coast, only a shade lighter than the Berbers or Moors on the opposite side of that sea. Okay? Tacticus spoke of the black Celts, and the term, so far as complexion goes, might not inappropriately be applied to some of the Italians, Spaniards, and Portuguese, while the Basques or the Basques are represented as of a still darker hue. All right. Tyler says in Anthropology, page 67, on the whole, it seems that the distinction of color from the fairest Englishman to the darkest African has no hard and fast lines, but varies gradually from one tint to another. Okay? So, and when we turn to America, we find that the popular opinion that all Indians are red men and of the same hue from Patagonia to Hudson Bay is a gross error. All right. So says here, Pritchard says in Researches into the Physical History of Mankind, Volume 1, page 269, fourth edition, in 1841, he said, it will be easy to show that the American races show nearly as a great variety in this respect as the nations of the old continent. There are among them white races with a florid complexion and tribes black or of a very dark hue, that their stature, figure, and countenance are almost equally diversified. All right. So that's from one book. John T. Short says North Americans of antiquity, in page 189, the Menominee, sometimes called the White Indians, formerly occupied the region bordering on Lake Michigan around Green Bay. The whiteness of these Indians, which is compared to that of white mulattoes, early attracted the attention of the Jesuit missionaries and has often been commented on by travelers. It says, while it is true that hybridly has done much to lighten the color of many of the tribes, still the peculiarity of the complexion of this people has been marked since the first time a European encountered them. Almost every shade from the ash color of the Menominee through the cinnamon, red, copper, and bronze tints may be found among the tribes formerly occupying the territory east of the Mississippi. Right? Until we reach the dark-skinned Kaws of Kansas, who are nearly as black as the Negro. The variety of complexion is as great in South America as among the tribes of the northern part of the continent. So, if y'all heard that, and I know you might have to go back or, listen to that again or whatever. I don't know, but he stated, in each pretty much area from north to south what the complexions were. Okay. Now I know we seen it said white or light skin. So in the mountain areas, of course, in Detroit or Minnesota or whatever, there do tend to be very fair skinned like people. You know what I'm saying? That have very Negroid features. You see what I'm saying? It's different areas. This is an old land. This is an old world. You see what I'm saying? If they encountered people that basically look like them that they never seen before, then we gotta open our minds a little bit more about this thing here.
Yep.
See what I'm saying?
Got kicked out. Sorry, I'm back.
It's just some things you just gotta take a little bit more looking into.
Yeah,
Now,
we gotta comb through it with a fine tooth comb. You know what I'm saying? Very strategic. It's like looking for a needle in a needle stack. You see what I'm saying? You looking for one particular needle in a pile of needles. Like, I don't know.
right, that's hard to do. You know what I'm saying? And as you see, of course, like always, even in the American Encyclopedia, even in Atlantis in America, even in most of the books, when you talk about America and this east coast of Mississippi, the southeast, you get that's when you get your red, cinnamon, dark skin to almost black hues, hands down, all the way down to South America. I mean, and this is obvious. Now, and I think when people done told me this when they travel, they go to South America, they see people over there that look just like us. They got people over there that they think that should be living in North America from the way they look.
Yeah. Can you hear me, bro?
Oh, go ahead, go ahead. I hear you now.
Nah, yeah, I got kicked out. I'm back, man. Yeah, so I don't know what part you left off. I don't know if the
Oh, right there with the about the cars of Kansas being very dark skin. Yeah,
all right. Yeah, I mean, I just want to add, like if it's still not clear, you know what I mean, how many books we got to read from, how many descriptions from different anthropologists, ethnologists, historians, chroniclers, conquistadors, like invaders, you know what I mean? Like, if it's still not clear, you're still debating people about it. I mean, you got to get past that. Why are you debating something you already know? Why are you debating somebody who's so ignorant that goes with the academic standard? Why are you guys still debating these people, man? You know what I mean? Like, let's move on. Leave them behind. They will fade away. Let them believe what they want. You gotta understand, this is just personal feelings. They have personal attachments to things. It's not facts. It's not based on foundation. Like I said earlier, you got to prove it. It's time to prove it. All right. And Jack was reading out, we're like this book is pointing out a lot of different books. This is not in Nation Donnelly. Like, you know what I mean? He's quoting different books here, scholarly books that I have. I can verify all these books. You know what I mean? Just wanted to add that.
you good, bro. And you might have to mute your mic, AP,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's like,
unless you got something you want to build on or whatever.
Nah, bro. I was just, agreeing with what y'all saying, man. Y'all going in.
Yeah, man. And that's just it's only and we're gonna get into this right here. Let me get into this. It says, uh, let's go right here. It says many of the Indians of Zuni, which is New Mexico, it say are white. It say they have a fair skin, blue eyes, chestnut or auburn hair, and are quite good looking. It says they claim to be full-blooded Zunians and have no tradition of intermarriage with any foreign race. The circumstance creates no surprise among this people, for from time immemorial, a similar class of people has existed among the tribe. All right. As Winchell says, the ancient Indians of California in the latitude of 42 degrees were as black as the Negroes of Guinea, while in Mexico were tribes of an olive or reddish complexion, relatively light. Among the black races of tropical regions, we find generally some light-colored tribes interspersed. These sometimes have light hair and blue eyes. This is the case with the Tuareg or of the Sahara, the Afghans of India, and the Aborigines of the banks of the Orinoco in the Amazon.
boom. So look, so he said, right? In Mexico, you got olive, right? So what's the color of olive? I've shown this before. When they say Spanish olives, when you go Google that, you see that a lot of black ones come out, and right, and then you got reddish. What does that mean? Reddish complexion. I'm talking about copper colored. And then he says among the black races of the tropical regions, all right, tropical regions all over the world, right? Not just Africa, not just in India on the other side, Hindustan, whatever they called it, or the Malays. We're talking about in the Americas too, right? We got tropics, so we find generally some light colored tribes, some, but in general is what? Black races, all right? And again, he tells you This includes the aborigines of the banks of the Orinoco, that's Venezuela, and the Amazon. All right.
That's right.
So go to my if you want to go to the you got it right here. Yeah.
You go to the other one, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty much, you know.
I got it. All right. You see it now? Make sure you put it on my screen.
All right. All right. Yeah, it's on there.
All right. So we're on page 174, and he says, without Atlantis, how can we explain the fact that the early Egyptians were depicted by themselves as red men or their own monuments? When you go into this whole red thing, you see what they meant by red, and you see when they put them side to side with the other so-called colors, you'll see what they mean. And on the other hand, how can we account for the representations of Negroes on the monuments of Central America? All right. What? Representation of Negroes on the monuments. All right. On the monuments. All right. Of Central America. All right. So we know these are not, you know, anybody who came from Africa or slaves or anything like that, because they're on the monuments of Central America. I mean, they put themselves in there. So Desiree Charney, now engaged in exploring those monuments, has published in the North American Review for December 1880 photographs of a number of idols exhumed at San Juan de Teotihuacan, from which I select the following strikingly Negroid faces. All right, so take a look right here. All right, have you seen part 13 of my from Indigenous American to African American? We went into the book Unexpected Phases of America, and we saw all sculptures and you know, pottery and everything that depicted so-called Negroes in Mesoamerica, Costa Rica, South America, North America. All right, so you can see it in this book as well. It says here, Negro idols found in Central America. All right, so continuing, it says, Dr. Le Plongeon, all right, very good author, and he has a book called Queen Mu, all right, about the Mayas and how they civilized the whole world, how they traveled. They are the Nagas, he explains. They are the Nagas in India and everywhere else, the snake, the Khans. All right, but he says also, besides the sculptures of long bearded men, all right, beards, right, you know, some people don't grow beards, we know who they are, seen by the explorer of Chichen Itza, there were tall figures of people with small heads, thick lips, and curly, short hair or wool, right? Wool, his hair is like wool, regarded as Negroes, all right, regarded as Negroes. We always see them as standard or parasol bearers, but never engaged in actual warfare. All right, that's from the Maya archaeology book, page 62. Go check it out. It says the following. So this is a plate right here from Palenque. The following cut is from the court of the palace of Palenque, figured by Stevens. The face is strongly Ethiopian. All right, so let's touch the hijack. What does this mean? This is a Greek word, right? What does this mean? Burnt face.
Yep.
Ethiop. Again, remember these Greek words, right? They like to name it. They like to get credit for everything, right? But no, you know, this just means burnt face or dark skin complexion. We know there was 3 Ethiopias back in the day. If you read medieval accounts, they knew that the Greeks called Americans the Western Ethiopians. So you can go into much Greek mythology and you'll see they'll separate Eastern Ethiopians from Western Ethiopians. So I thought there was only one Ethiopia. All right, so when we talk about Western Ethiopians, we're talking about Americans. Right? I've gone over that in my videos. It says the figure below represents a gigantic granite head from near the volcano of Tuxtla in the Mexican state of Veracruz at Cachapa. The features are unmistakably Negroid. As the Negroes have never been a seagoing race, well, that's false, but the presence of these faces among the antiquities of Central America proves one of 2 things. Either the existence, now be careful, he's going to go into the hijack mode right now. I'm warning you, all right? So let me show you. So these phases among the antiquities of Central America proves 2 things, right? So they're finding all these Negroid, you know, sculptures and, you know, faces on the monuments and all that, right? So they got to try to explain why, all right? They're always going to try to explain why. Either the existence of a land connection between America and Africa via Atlantis, as revealed by the deep sea soundings of the Challenger, or commercial relations between America and Africa through the ships of the Atlanteans, or some other civilized race, whereby the Negroes were brought to America as slaves at a very remote epoch. All right, so he just basically took made everybody come into America. Like he's trying to say, because they're Negroes, they were never here in the beginning. So he's trying to figure out where they came from and how they were brought here.
Right.
Really dodged the hijack, because he's talking about that he's basically talking about the transatlantic slave trade back in BC times. Come on.
Right.
He's saying Negroes were brought over to America in very remote times, like as slaves. Come on, but yet these slaves are in all the monuments, all the pottery, right?
Right.
They're Bonampak murals. Go check it out. Google it. All right.
Artifacts.
You see kings. You see the Khan dynasty. You see kings, right? These are not slaves. So dodge the hijack. All right. Very important. All right. And we find some corroboration of the later theory in that singular book of the Clichés, the Popol Vuh, in which, after describing the creation of the first men in the region of the rising sun and enumerating their first generations, we are told all seem to have spoken one language and to have lived in great peace, black men and white together. All right. All right. So it continues. All right. So we can probably go to that part. So just wanted to go ahead and we're emphasizing, letting you know what the word, do a real study of the etymology of the word Atlantis, and that's going to bring you here in America, right? Start looking for the people and their complexion. You're going to get at least 95 to or more. You're going to see it's all copper colored tribes. They're going to talk about dark hues, brown, cinnamons, reddish. They're not going to say light. They'll say light a couple of times, but you're going to see in general, right, copper-colored tribes of America, just like it says in the book Races of Men that I read out in one of my videos, which tells you this is the stronghold of the colored people, the Americas. All right.
That's right. That was a good build, man. So we're gonna go ahead and I guess we're gonna jump into some of this Atlantis in America. Give some of this good drop.
Yeah. Peace to my boy Davis. All right. Peace to Kiowa. The whole crew. Managi and all the people in the back chat. So Miha, Ron Redbird. All right. We got Neppy, Anu. All right. And everybody tuned in. We got everybody tuned in. All the people's always supporting, like Fury Taino. You're always there supporting, and everybody else in the chat. I don't know if I missed a lot of people. I know the Ohio player. All of y'all. Thanks for tuning in, Tommy. Yeah. Brother Wanagi.
Peace to the chat, yo. Y'all already know, fam. We in here, we doing this thing together, man. We just making this thing easier so we can take it further. You know what I'm saying? Dodge the hijacks, and we gonna make it. So let's start right here, man. We ended it with going over the pyramid that they discovered in Mexico. They were saying destroyed and damaged by some of the colonizers. And now we're about to get into chapter 5, which is basically the bones of contention. And it's getting into, is archaeology science? You know what I'm saying? Basically giving you what archaeology was rooted from and where it is now. You know what I'm saying? He gives a good breakdown of how the Greek philosophers and how they seen the Atlanteans and everything, and giving you the stories of the Golden Age and everybody who had their little opinions and stuff like that about it. So we gonna get in right in what he had to say. So bear with me on this. It's a good read. It's gonna take a little time, man. We pretty much caught you up on what's supposed to be, America and what the people are, what we did. Of course, like Corey Mayo just said, how can slaves build such major monuments and neat artifacts and artifacts made out of stones and agriculture and metalwork, language, numbers? You name it. How can you be a slave with all all these type of inventions and creations and cultures, and it doesn't make sense. You watch the movies when it comes to war. What they doing when they invade a village or any town? They burning it down, and they taking the people and they chaining them up and making them go wherever they want them to go. That's not slavery. That's a prisoner of war. War don't have to be initiated. Anybody can start war with you at any time they feel like it. You have to be ready. We're gonna be out here trying to claim who we are and doing what we're supposed to be doing. And we need to be getting the people on our side and getting as many people as possible so we can do this thing the right way. I'm out here. I don't know about anybody else personally. All I can do is motivate you to try to do what you can do for your community, for your family. Other than that, I can't speak for Joe, Kim, Pam, and whoever else got something, to say about whatever. It's about what you can do for yourself and your people and expand that. So that way, when you say it, it can activate and really motivate somebody. We're going to keep it going.
Yep.
All right. So he says here, is traditional Americanist archaeology a science, or is it an attempt to fit new information into old paradigms? The question of man's past has too long been left exclusively in the hands of archaeologists and historians. Most historians can only report on what is there in the written record, without a thought to considering the living record contained in the oral tradition and culture of people who still maintain the old ways. Most archaeologists are basically diggers, working under Victorian and Darwinian art ideas of man's relevance in the world. They are careful diggers. To be sure, however, Americanist archaeologists have long been working under an updated terrestrial model of primitive land migration that they have shown little will to question, even when confronted with significant information that challenges their model. In fact, academic acceptance has continually rooted out any descendants to the Neo-Darwinian model. They have been able to report on the obvious food gathering and tool and weaponry making techniques of the ancient remains they have encountered. But they have been unable to tell us what a man of 2,000 years ago or of 20,000 years ago thought, or how he acted,
Yep.
or why he built what he built.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Bear with me, y'all. This is Ivar. Encountering pyramids that in their construction recorded precise movements of the planets and star constellations, encountering wide roads that interconnected the great cities of Mesoamerica, built without defensive walls, and encountering megaliths that describe distinct sight lines marking pathways through the seas to distant civilizations. The academics have been unable to grasp the greater implications of their finds. They have told us that these were ceremonial centers, but they have been able to tell us what ceremonies were conducted at these ceremonial centers. Encountering great astronomical observatories and entire cities laid out in harmony with celestial bodies, the academics have again missed the point and declared that they were built as a farming aid, a means to tell the farmer when to plant his crops. Further, Americanist anthropology has viewed the construction of the great Mayan sites in Mesoamerica as a linear undertaking. Under this model, when one city state fell, it was replaced by another in prominence. Thus, Tikal in Guatemala replaced Huaxcatun or Huaxtun. Caraco in Belize replaced Tikal. Chichen Itza in the Yucatan replaced Tula. in the Valley of Mexico, etc. Okay. As, however, it is now becoming clear that many major sites not only coexisted without the defensive walls that marked old world civilizations, they were interconnected by wide limestone roads called Sakbiab or Sakbiab, intricate canals, and a wide range of traded goods. Okay, so this figure right here is to show you kind of how it looked, you know, back in the day before all these people came trying to reconstruct these uh, roads now or whatever. This is a natural built road right here. This is one of the descriptions here. All right, so it says a new breed of scientists, biochemists, and astronomers, among them equally interested in our past, have encroached on the private realm of established archaeologists. They have concluded that there was a different purpose to precise knowledge of the heavens. It was farming. Farmers have always known when to plant and when to reap. Purpose and intent must have been built into the precise construction of star temples, and that purpose had to be in an exact definition of astronomy, a measuring of the stars. Now, this is why when we really get on the same team and everybody really get on the same page and people don't have a problem with expressing who they are, and we really start really developing land as a unit, or however, with your family or whoever you're going to do it with. It doesn't have to be with everybody. And see, that's what people got to understand too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can really work together by doing their own thing. It's just about really working together. Everybody ain't got to believe the same thing. Everybody got to do everything the same way. That would be boring anyway. So it's about everybody finding a path and doing what they can do and making it precise. Now, ecology is the basis of how you can look at farming, period. And it ties into the astrology also. That's why we're gonna get more into that. And I'm glad that he hopped on this right now, because this is what it's about. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta understand. I mean, we got just by looking at the calendars, right? That we have, the astronomy that the ancient Olmec Mayas had, and people in Peru. It's way more elaborate, way more advanced. I mean, this is admitted by many scholars, right? If you're really an antiquarian, if you're really about facts, and you do your research, you see, where this comes from. Astrology. Who has the most accurate calendars and everything. All right, that was on this side of the world. All right, who gave you zero? You know what I mean? Like, AP's already told you about all this, and contributions from the American Indians to the world. So so astronomy is very important, right? It tells you a lot. So
That's right. And then he goes here. Similarly, the exact layout of the spears of Costa Rica was based on another science, navigation. And we hit on that right at the beginning of this whole series, that it started out with navigation.
yep.
You know what I'm saying? Touching on the spears. The spears based off from here all the way to Europe. You know what I'm saying? All the way. I'm thinking, what was it? To damn now, what was it? I can't remember how far exactly. The Easter Islands to, you know what I'm saying, all the way to Siberia or something like that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and they said this was similar, it was said, but it was based on another, they call it navigation another science. You know what I'm saying? So it says, in fact, naval astronomy may have come thousands of years before the cataclysms that gave astronomy a second function. So
Hmm.
we have here, I mean, we gotta think about how it really was, you know, beyond all this these computers and phones and stuff in our face, and different type of cars and stuff. I'm pretty sure we was traveling on horseback, walking, or we done created some type of mechanical wheel, you know, who knows how long ago to be traveling. But you seen from the picture of above that we just showed, you know, the people traveling on the road, um, you gotta think, seeing, I can see the Tennessee mountains from where I'm at here in South Carolina. So just imagine, of course, many trees, plenty of trees and stuff are being around. The world had to look majorly different back then. So you just got to put yourself there when they describing all these things, and for them to say navigation, I mean, you got to think it had to be. How else would you find out where something is? How would you know? Like I said, how could you tell what plant or what stone or whatever can do what? Like, how you know this, the mold this with that?
Yeah, I mean that, like you're saying, that takes time. That takes a lot of time, study, science, research, right? Like creating a calendar,
I mean,
following astronomy,
do y'all,
thousands of years.
I mean, come on, do y'all? I mean, do y'all really think? I mean, let's just really think about this for a second, man. And AP, I want you to. I mean, let's just really.
One thing we got to think about, right? Like when they teach you Egyptian and Sumerian history, right? You got to look at it, see what they're really teaching you about the origins. They're teaching it to you like it's a legacy, like it just came out of nowhere.
Right.
Right. And there's a reason for that, man, because there's a source. All right. There's a reason for all that.
Right. And you gotta think, how really long would that take for you to be able to come up with the what each herb, or pretty much what each fruit or the tree, you know what I'm saying, finding out which tree really moved the fastest out of all these trees on this land across the water. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
y'all think we only been for I mean, it's got to be millions and millions and millions of years, man. Do y'all really understand what I'm saying right now, man? This is not a game, man. Our people been here, like, look, man, we got to get beyond the madness of this blockage of commercialism to our lives. You know what I'm saying? We are old people, period. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be at this level, and you're not gonna be at this type of mental capacity to try to find out who you are if you ain't this old. You see what I'm saying? Everybody probably in this chat right now, everybody that watched this channel, everybody that tuned in the Corey Mayo channel, AP, A1, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else that's really putting in the work out here, just holding it down, you know what I'm saying? You got to have some real old genes in you to be able to comprehend this, because you got to think, I mean, this is a lot of stuff to be trying to I mean, you can't break down knowing almost every herb and medicinal uh 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 every medicinal, I mean, aspect of it. I mean, that's too much, man. People are not ready for that, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I lost my place right quick. Let me find back where I was at real quick. But if you want to build on that for a minute, bro, go ahead.
Well, I want to re-sign real quick.
Go ahead, bro.
All right. All right. Let me just show the people the book. You can see my screen, right? Hold on. There we go.
All right, it's on there now.
All right. So this book is called Queen Mu, the Egyptian Sphinx by Augustus Le Plongeon, MD, author of Sacred Mysteries Among the Mayas and the Quiches. All right. So, I mean, if you study what this guy did when he was over there in Mexico in the ruins and a lot of different cities there, what he was finding in the tablets and the stories and his archaeology and everything. I mean, this is just not. I know he looks funny. I know he got a funny beard and everything, and he's, what you call white, but that doesn't mean we can't learn from these people, right? That's, a lot of people tell you, oh, but you're reading the white man's. All right, did you go out there and study? Did you get a degree in archaeology and go out there and study the rock? and studied the tablets and everything? Have you done that? All right. So for now, we have to rely on these people. We got to pull out the babies, right? We gotta discern the information that we get out of these books. All right. So I just want to show something real quick. All right. So let me just zoom in. Hey, mute. Hold on. I did myself twice there. All right.
My bad. I did that.
All right. All right. It says here, because we talking about old, we talking about old. We tell you how old it is. It says the Maya sages doubtless had reached similar conclusions since they called their country Mayak. That is, the land first emerged from the bosom of the deep. All right. The first land out of the water. All right. The country of the shoot, and the Egyptians, according to Herodotus, listen to this. All right. According to Herodotus, boasted that their ancestors in the lands of the West were the oldest men on earth. All right. We're talking about the Americas. It says if the opinion of Lyle Humphrey and a host of modern geologists regarding the priority of America's antiquity be correct, right have we to gainsay the assertion of the Mayas and the Egyptians in claiming likewise priority for their people and their country. All right, so can't leave the Maya out is what he's saying. All right, we're gonna get more into this book. Hold on, quick. All right, but you can continue if you found your place.
Yeah, I'm almost there. Give me a sec, man.
All right, hold on. Don't worry. I can.
You know how when you click off of it, it'll go back to the previous
Yeah.
Man, lost my
I
dog.
mean, if you studied Herodotus, I mean, go verify that. Go see what he says about the ancestors of the Egyptians. All right, he's telling you they were from a distant Western land. All right, where the original people are from. All right, the original people.
Right. All right. I'm back here now, man. Here we go. Get back to it. Okay. Let me share my screen right quick. My bad on that, y'all. Every time, sometimes when you go too fast, you.
Don't worry. That was a good little break we took and went to that other book. Just remind people.
Word. All right. Let me see. All right. Okay. Now it says, all right. It says similarly, the exact layout of the spears of Costa Rica was based on another science, navigation. It says, in fact, naval astronomy may have come thousands of years before cataclysms that gave astronomy a second function. It says that of careful watching for signs of another cataclysm. It says, but archaeologists could not see the navigational functions inherent in star temples, nor could they see the function in the great calendrical and numerical systems of the ancients. American physical anthropology has languished under obvious misconceptions, unable to break free from the theories that embraced Mesoamerican cultures as an isolated and recent event. It says the view from inside a narrow frame of reference and theory is often self-righteous and blindly self-fulfilling. Thus, American archaeology became convinced of its own authority as the dispenser of knowledge and absorbed in its own conceit, issued declarations beyond the questioning or measurements of outsiders. All right. In summary, their story is the universe has been here for 12 to 15 billion years. All right. Life on this planet for 600,000 years. All right. Man for 4 to 5 billion years. Homo sapiens for 200,000 years to 270,000 years. But civilized thinking man has been around for a scant 6,000 to 7,000 years. Before that, everything was pretty much a dumb groping for survival. All right. And this right here, this figure shows you in 5D. It shows you the Homo habilis, okay, and it's giving you a breakdown of, you know, that little chart they show you. You know what I'm saying? Of the Australopithecus, you know, Australopithecus, whatever you know,
Yeah,
those words.
all the different, yeah,
Yeah,
but they still have a missing link, right?
right. You see what I'm saying? So, and even when you read it, it says here among LSB, Leakey's discoveries in East Africa was that of a hominid who knew how to make tools and to organize his life. When Leakey came to understand the characteristics of this hominid, he gave him the name Homo habilis, handyman. It says, whether we evolved from this little fellow or from some cousin of his is still unclear. But what has been very clear is that the main body of archaeology has noted little change in the habits of mankind from his time 1.8 million years ago until 7,000 years ago. All right. So he's letting you know, it's still unclear to be believing some stuff like that. You know, um, I honestly, like I say, just how I explained, you know, I'm glad he just gave you the breakdown of the years, you know, um, with just using common sense. Like I say, it's gonna take way more than 200,000 years to be figuring out what these herbs and how you can cook this corn and vegetables and stuff like that, man. I don't care what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna take way longer than that. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take way longer than that. And if we was building, you know, you look at the pyramid of the sun in Mexico by itself, you know, let alone uh, El Donta, yeah, and Cholula, you know what I'm saying? And then you got the Cahokia Mound and mounds all over down south in here and stuff like that. You talking about, man, you don't know. I mean, how advanced do you really supposed to be? I
Yep.
mean, I don't understand.
We got the World Guinness record for the largest monument ever built by any human, right? Like ever, man. We're talking about the Pyramid of Cholula. Hope you saw my last video. World Guinness record, all right? This is measured by many people at different times. 4 times the base of it is 4 times larger than any pyramid in Egypt. You know, what I mean, it doesn't compare, and we know it's missing some, parts on the top. It was, as I read, it was a lot of it was destroyed, but it's a mountain of bricks. It's called today a mountain of bricks. All right, and they have their little chap on top of. That's what Jaguar was saying. We got that. We got La Danta. Come on, I mean, do your research. It's in your own backyard. You don't have to go across the ocean. It's in your own backyard. We got everything right here.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna read a little bit more of this, man. It say, mankind has collectively always wanted to believe that we appear as we are and were meant to be as we are. And Stephen J. Gow's words, by a natural result of inevitable improvement constructed by process, all right, which is natural selection. And he's saying that continually makes successful creatures better and better. It says those are Stephen J. Gow's words, but Gow, now considered the world's leading theorist on large scale patterns of evolution, it says rejects this arrogance. It says he has demonstrated that natural selection has never worked to any advantage in the context of a great period of time, nor in a great diversity of environments, but only in local environments where greater specialization and an associated lack of flexibility has ensured survivability. Now, humans in their short existence on Earth have defied the process, first by generalizing their responses to local environments, and secondly by delaying their sexual maturity until well into their second decade of existence. In other matters, including cannibalism and an extreme passion for revenge against others of their own kind, Homo sapiens has positioned itself as a temporary and perhaps absurd ruler of the earth. Now, y'all got to think about that for a second.
Yeah.
All right. So, and he says, in any event, despite his temporary rule, mankind has much to prove. Although some last much longer than the average species survives for about 4 million years, our species, Homo sapiens, is about 250,000 years old. And he says, man has many uncharted millennia to endure to prove that he is worthy to rank significant mention, let alone dominance among the creations of the world, of this world. All right. He says Americanists have viewed natural selection as an imperative that has inevitably worked towards man's emergence and dominance. Simply put, God favors humans. All right. At least that is the argument of both the creationists and the neo-Darwinists. All right. So y'all bear with him with what he's saying, okay? So he's saying, if so, why did God wait so long to introduce humans into the picture? And did they arrive by necessity? If this is the argument, that man is a necessary product of either divine design or evolutionary process. Only the creationist argument can hold any merit. All right. Darwin's gradualist theory of evolution cannot account for man's dominance or even for his presence. Gal, referring to his wonderful book, states, Wonderful Life asserts the unpredictability and contingency of any particular event in evolution. An emphasis and emphasizes that the origin of Homo sapiens must be viewed as such an unrepeatable particular, not an expected consequence. Okay. Says when faced with the likelihood that mankind spread over the earth much as crabgrass spreads through a yard interconnectedly, academic anthropology has countered the earth and its oceans were too vast and its people too isolated for any significant contact to have occurred. It says how could they have known that the oceans were not navigable 12,000 years ago? And they could have known it only if they had misinterpreted data and then written this very wrong data into their text box as indisputable fact. So, y'all see what he's saying. This is not, he's letting you know that whenever you're going to deal with any person who's talking natural select, evolution, or whatever,
Yep.
is more than likely in some made up crap. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? And the oral tradition stories and what you can find through culture and actually farming and stuff like that can teach you exactly where you may come from or where life could possibly and how it can begin.
That's
And
big,
that's
big right there. Agriculture, right?
right. You know what I'm saying? All right. Bear with me for a second, y'all. I know it's a lot of reading, but we just got an archaeologist and an anthropologist that I feel that is totally in agreement with what we think and feel about, you know, how we supposed to be looking at this thing. All right. So he says they could have known it only if they had misinterpreted data and then written this very wrong data into their textbooks as indisputable fact. When outsiders like Thor Heyerdahl have proven their theories wrong, they have discarded the contradictory evidence and called the outside investigators amateurs. Archaeologists do not like outside interference with their pet theories. Like most academic specialists, they are very territorial. Okay, there you go, academic specialists. So most of the time when you hear somebody talking about, yeah, academia, modern academia, well, academia says this is what academia says. Them same people believe they come from monkeys and stuff like that. Am I not lying, Corey Mayo?
Oh, yeah. If you go with the academic standard, as some people try to say and debate us with, I mean, you're saying that you come from monkeys, right? And that Columbus discovered everything, right? And that, like the other author said, oh, if you find a so-called Negro over here or things of Negro, they have to be African. Because what do they teach us out of Africa? Theory, theory, not foundational truth. That's why it's called the theory.
All right. You know what I'm saying? Pause for a sec. As archaeologists and historians have been misled by the concept of the history of humanity as a series of events tied together as a linear imperative, instead of attempting an understanding of the complexity of man's endeavors. Because in their view, if they found man making clovis points anywhere on the North American continent, it meant that the most advanced men anywhere in the Americas were making clovis points, hunting mastodon, and building charcoal fires. In truth, the history of man on this planet is more convoluted than strictly linear. Even today, we repeat primitive man coexist with more technologically advanced man. Okay. In the 1940s, some American anthropologists, notably the followers of Franz Boas, became aware that British functionalists, particularly Radcliffe Brown and Ma- Malinowski, stressed the value of viewing sites and their evidence on their own merit, eschewing attempting to make sites or artifacts from those sites fit theory. All right. For a brief period, the emphasis on spear points and pottery was replaced by a few with an appreciation of structures. But that is not how most Americans have viewed the evidence. In Mesoamerica, scientists in the fields of paleontology, morphology, and geology have insisted on integrating a Darwinian gradualist mechanism into their interpretation of ancient sites. When dates of the sites have conflicted with neo-Darwinian ideals intent on describing the Americas in both an independent and more recent cultural context, older dates have invariably been the ones questioned and disbelieved. Now,
Yeah.
shout out to UB News, man. He had a nice major interview with an archaeologist.
Yep.
I forgot the guy's name, but he was saying the exact same thing.
Yep. Yeah, about up there in North America and what was that region? Like near Ohio?
Yeah, and he was in Ohio.
Yeah. I mean, we all know, right?
I think he the one that found one of them Hebrew writings or something like that.
Oh, they'll find all kinds of Hebrew stuff up there, and not just Hebrew, but other words. I mean, we say Hebrew,
Yeah,
right?
we say Hebrew, but it's really indigenous languages that's
Talking
here.
about paleo, ancient people, original. We're talking about original tongue and original tone. That's what we
Right.
talking.
We're talking paleo, not no, you know. We got some people that we gonna try to get on, man, that really know some tongues too, man, and
We got
some
them,
real elders,
yeah,
man.
elder letting bringing it back to the original chants, the original sound and vibrations, because that's what we're talking about. Because and you find these vibrations or sounds in every language today.
That's
All
right.
right.
All right. y'all bear with us a little bit. I hope y'all enjoying this, man. The man is actually breaking down this falsehood and these fake sciences who promoting all these theories and ideologies, you know, to fit the theories. So this is just good drop, man. Stick with this for a sec, man. We gonna hold y'all too long. We're just gonna go over this for a little bit, and then we'll probably go over a little something else. All right. So where we at? All right, right here it says, thus the spears of Costa Rica have been declared out of context. Out of context designation, a simple throwing away of evidence that does not fit established theory, has
Mm-hmm.
provided a needed reinforcement for the Americanness. In the Deque's Delta, the spears were viewed as too old and too sophisticated to have been constructed by documented cultures, such as the Quartega. As indicators of civilization, the builders of the spears were viewed as too advanced to fit within the academic paradigm of the Americas as a recent citadel of civilization. So they have been designated an enigma and then ignored. The pursuit of fitting American sites into a Darwinian model has been devastating to the independent thought and to independent sites. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's so basically saying these stone fears, right, that they found, they're so advanced that they just say it's a mystery, right? But when you go, when you go to Costa Rica, they just give credit to the tribes that they found in that region when they came, the Europeans, but they have no proof. I mean, that's the official story they tell you, but you see, in reality, they didn't have the sign, the advancement to make these things, and they're a lot older. I actually wanted to show people real quick, if you don't mind, the spears, just real quick, so they can see what you're reading
Sure.
about. All right, and just real quick, we can go back to you.
Let's get it.
All right, all right. So these are. Can you see the screen?
Yep.
All right, so these are the stone fears. They're all over the country, mainly in the south western part of the country, which they were just talking about, the Dikis Delta. All right, in the rich, powerful people here, some of them grabbed it up and put it in their front yards, like you see here. This is the ex-president that we just had. He has one in probably his front yard right there, and but they're so heavy and everything. A lot of them are still in the same place that they were found. A lot of them were destroyed. But we got so many of these stone fears here, and we find these actually not in Costa Rica only, but all over the world. And then everywhere you go read about these stone fears in the world, they always have a different explanation. In one place, it would be like a volcanic rock. In another place, the Indians made it. In another place, the giants made it. So they have all kinds of stories about them. But this is what we're talking about. This is what Ivar Zapp is referring to, and he was linking it before. We saw the past Atlantis videos to how these are like almost like navigational points, or like showing you different parts of the earth, and it's almost like mapping up the whole globe, something like that. And I mean, these are the way they're built. Again, they're so perfectly round. This is
Yeah.
a hard stone, and they can't mimic this today. That's the whole point. All right,
That's right.
there you go.
You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you showed that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to show that visual of what's the real, man. Them stones is special, man. They were used basically as marking systems. And then they also said that they had some type of way of astrology printed on them on some of them also. They said they found some type of astrology chart on some of those stones, man. So, you know, shout out to America, man. Let's stand up, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not a game, man. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta get together and hold it down. It's no time to be playing around, man. We're gonna keep it flowing for a sec. And like I said, we're gonna try to hold you too long, but we just want to get over this. I know we finna hit on this carbon 14, something that a lot of people like to hear about. And let's just see what he got to say about it right quick, and then we're gonna move it on.
All right.
It says by the early 1950s, the American reliance on fitting sites to preconceived theories was reinforced by the use of carbon 14 dating. Carbon 14 dating gave the archaeologists an absolute date making cultural context and patterns of behavior with an integrated whole unnecessary. However, carbon 14 dates themselves are inaccurate. All right.
Inaccurate.
All right. Yes, and the method by which they have been used has taxed credibility. Rocks and megaliths like spears of Costa Rica have in themselves no value that can be dated by the C14 method. They are simply too old. Say what C14 dating can do is approximate associative material like charcoal or fired pottery shards with the sites. Okay. Thus, if we find in an ancient site where truly primitive hunters were fashioning spear points and find fires that we can date to 12,000 before present, and find corroborative evidence of extinct mammals from an associative date, we can pronounce fearlessly that these hunters lived at a particular date. The problem occurs when we find evidence of charcoal fires associated with sophisticated structures. For example, Napoleon ordered the surrounding sand cleared from the Egyptian Sphinx down to its base, as a few of his soldiers may have built fires at that level. After the French withdrawal, some Egyptians could have fired pottery at the same level, or they might fire that for said pottery during the next decade or century. It says if a sandstorm in the next century were to have buried and preserved these activities in a subsequent cataclysm struck, say in the year 2013, what would the record be 1,000 or 10,000 years from now? By associative carbon 14 dating, you could safely assume by this method that the Sphinx dated to 1800 to 2000 AD, contemporary with the American experiment with democracy, preposterous. No, that is simply the way archaeology works. So we're going to read this right here, right quick. You get a better, clearer of what he's saying about carbon 14, why the dating system is inaccurate. All right. Carbon 14 is a radioactive isotope that is regularly absorbed from the air by green plants. When animals eat the green plants, they also ingest the carbon 14 and it becomes part of their tissue. When other animals eat this tissue, they also ingest the carbon 14 and so on. When a plant or animal dies, it can take no more carbon 14. At that point, radioactive decay begins. According to Willard F. Libby, who first effectively dated samples in 1949, the dead organism will lose half its radioactivity in 5,568 years. Half of the half that remains will dissipate in another 5,568 years. Half-lives can be measured effectively for up to 50,000 years by measuring the remaining C14 in any contaminated material that has ever been alive. But Libby's figure proved to be wrong when dates of 26 BC were obtained for objects of the first dynasty of Egypt. In this case, calendrical dates show that the objects and cultures involved were 500 or 600 years older. Libby believed that the amount of C14 in the atmosphere was a constant, but actually it was much more prevalent in earlier times. Thus, any creature that lived in a time when C14 was richer will appear much younger than it really was. Studies that include known measurements of C14 in the atmosphere have proved that an organism with a date of 3500 BC actually dates from 4375 BC. In real years, a C14 of 11,000, 1200 before present is really 13,200 years before present. And by 20,000 years before present, there is a discrepancy of 3,500 years. Okay. Despite the unchallenged recalibration of the dates of organic matter, Eurocentric archaeologists in our major texts have held on to the uncalibrated dates. Calibrated dates for sites often put them before those that fit into the established paradigm. The earlier dates, even when archaeologists admit they must be correct, often prove to be embarrassing, so they are ignored. Now, I don't know how much more you're going to need on that right there. I think I'm going to let you go ahead and rock it out with the next one, Corey Mayo. I don't want to give them too much to
Yeah.
get angry about.
That's important. That's the thing. Like, all right, so people, I hope people are paying attention. You know what I mean? The real people out there not getting distracted and everything, and not paying attention, and really learning, because these people just talk and keep talking and other stuff. But we're gonna basically, I just want to show that this is not that it's like not talked about. I mean, it's like I'm talking about carbon dating. Just simple a Google search. You Google carbon dating flaws. You can go to different websites like this, anthropology.msu.edu. Great discoveries in archaeology. All right, radiocarbon dating, a closer look at its main flaws. All right, we got Phys.org. Phys research illuminates inaccuracies in radiocarbon dating. All right, we got Smithsonian.com. Thanks to fossil fuels, carbon dating is in jeopardy. One scientist may have an easy fix, all right, because they're finding shit in out of place, right? And then we got New York Times. Errors are feared in carbon dating, all right? These are good articles, look them up. I read them all, and correlating with what Ivar Zapp is saying. All right, so again, we're talking about the true old world. Again, let's just get reminded who was the most famous geologist that has existed, that gets quoted, and it's part of your curriculum if you take geology. All right, in colleges and universities, we're talking about geological sketches, one of the books you have to read if you take that. Louis Agassiz, very first chapter. I just want to show you real quick what it says here, contents, right? Can y'all see that, right? Contents, let me zoom in a little bit. All right, America, what? The old world. All right, page 1. Right away, let's just clear it up. He says, let's just clear it up right away. All right, America, the old world. Firstborn among the continents. All right, remember what the Maya said. All right, so you thought the Maya was just making things up. You thought the dude was just saying that, right? So this is a whole different source, a whole different person. We're not talking about Maya or anything, but he's going to tell you right now, right? Among the continents, though, so much later in culture. He says in culture, right? Because he's still going with the out of Africa theory, but we're telling you, right? This is a true old world. And civilization, then some of more recent birth, because we got agriculture. What is the beginning of civilizations? Agriculture. You have to study. You have to really research. What starts civilizations? Agriculture. Who gave you agriculture? All right, that's one of the contributions, right? In the Encyclopedia of American Indians, contributions to the world. Agriculture. All right, civilization, that's here, man. America, so far as a physical history, all right, is concerned, has been falsely denominated the New World. All right, falsely. Hers was the first dry land lifted out of the waters. All right, hers the first shore washed by the ocean. All right, that enveloped all the earth beside, and while Europe was represented only by islands rising here and there above the sea, America already stretched an unbroken line of land from Nova Scotia to the far west. first land. What did the Mayas tell you? It's called Mayak. Why? Because it's the first land out of the bottom of the sea, of the ocean. All right, same thing the Maya said. This geologist using science, and he explains why he says this. You got to read it. Do you read it on your own? I'm just letting you know this is in the curriculum. If you study geology and you go to college, this is Louis Agassiz, most famous geologist that's ever existed. So, oh, pseudo white man. Yeah, keep following those kind of people. All right, you don't want to advance. All right, you don't want to advance. Go ahead, keep hanging on to personal feelings and attachments, or you love Egypt so much. Go ahead, go over there then. I mean, it's a movie stage. UB News already showed you about those pyramids over there. All right, they're not megaliths. That's concrete over there. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'm gonna bring up the other book that we had earlier, real quick. All right.
Now they say they don't even want you to touch the pyramids over there. If you built those, if your ancestors built those pyramids, why you can't touch them? And then they say they only allow certain people to go up in them. So, but you, but you can go over here to the mounds. You can go to Mexico. You can go to South America, wherever, and you see people standing all on the pyramids. You don't even see you see foreigners standing on the pyramids. So you tell me what's up with that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, you really want to just go over there not knowing if you really do got any family over there. And if you do got some family over there, you might want to get to know them to see if you really do vibe with them. Because they might not vibe with you. You know, they might do some things that you don't do. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go over there just to be going over there, man. Now, if you're gonna set up some business, try to make you some money or something, man, I can understand that. But you better make sure you legit and make sure you know you going over there. You got it's all kind of different stuff you can catch over there. You know, they say you do gotta get vaccinated or whatever. Or they gonna force you to get them type of shots that you know, because they say you probably gonna get sick. So I don't know how true that is myself because I haven't been, and I'm not really concerned about going over there. You know, unless I can find some people over there. You know, I know some people over there that got some ties over there or whatever, and I can get in touch with them and some people that they know or whatever. But I don't think they trying to do no type of commerce like that. You know, just because. You know, I think they want to see some people together. You know, because a lot of countries over there are more together than we think. It's just a little bit more diverse, but it is some still prisoner of war stuff going on over there too, and slavery. Yeah, you still got real servitude over there, where you got families who are in servitude, and you still got POWs, people who are being captured and being forced to work in labor. You know, it is a difference. So, my bad, bro. You go ahead.
Nah, that's cool, man. That's cool. No worries, man. Just real quick. Hold on. Let's see, real quick. I just gotta. I mean, I know people, visually, it's because they know, we don't get taught this stuff, right? We don't. They don't tell us these things, right? But we got it in our backyard, all right? So this is a comparison of La Danta Pyramid, all right? La Danta Pyramid, El Mirador in Guatemala. And thanks to AP for bringing this to our awareness. You know, this is things that I didn't even know, like, because when have they taught us about these pyramids? Have you ever heard of La Danta Pyramid in your history class? I'll wait. We got crickets. So this is the height. This is the height. We got not only the biggest, talking about mass, right? And we got in Cholula, right? That I mentioned earlier, but we also got the tallest. All right, La Danta. All right, only the top of it is visible. The rest of it is still underneath trees and stuff. All right, they're not even trying to excavate it. They don't want, they don't want too many people over there. All right, that's why they burn museums with the oldest bones of America. We're talking about the museum in Brazil. I mean, they don't want you guys to go look into this stuff. All right, hold on. So just real quick, just another one, just real quick, so you can get a visual. You get a visual. All right, can you see it?
Yeah, I can see
This is La Danta again. Just look at it. I mean, the whole base is concrete. This is not. I mean, it's tall. It's really big. This is complex. It's not just a little triangle pyramid. All right, this is complex. This is in the jungle. They're still finding things in the jungle in Guatemala today using their LiDAR technology. And you know what? I'm trying to tell you, they're going to find more things as they keep using this LiDAR technology. All right, so you think they're building the wall to keep people out? You got to think about it. They're trying to keep you in. I just wanted to say that, you know? So let's go back to the book. All right, real quick. All right, so we got, again, Atlantis, the Antediluvian World by Ignatius Donnelly. We're in chapter 3 here. It says, there's nothing improbable in this narrative so far as it describes a great rich culture. They're talking about Plato's story. Cultured and educated people. Almost every part of Plato's story can be paralleled by description of the people of Egypt or Peru. All right, where do we have the oldest pyramids in the world? If y'all don't know, research Caral Supe. All right. In fact, in some respects, Plato's account of Atlantis falls short of Herodotus' description of the grandeur of Egypt or Prescott's picture of the wealth and civilization of Peru. So Prescott, a famous historian as well, he got a great book on Peru. We actually, I think we read it once in one of these parts. Jaguar did, and it did mention Peru as Atlantis or the descendants of Atlantis being there. For instance, Prescott in his Conquest of Peru says the most renowned of the Peruvian temples, the pride of the capital, and the wonder of the empire was at Cusco, where under the munificence of successive sovereigns, it had become so enriched that it received the name of Coricancha, or the place of gold. The interior of the temple was literally a mine of gold. All right, the interior of the temple was literally a mine of gold. All right, so future videos, but if you read Marco Polo's books and how he described where Prester John lived in the Great Khan, you know, that the farthest east. When they talk about the farthest east, we're talking about America. Trust me. And you know, we'll show you why we say that in future videos. But he describes the temples the same way with the walls of gold and, you know, inside and everything. And when you read about what else can you read about in another story? Well, read the Torah and the Old Testament, Solomon's temple, and all the, you know, in these places, you know, the walls were with gold as well. All right. So if you know about Father Crespi's collection of Ecuador, they were bringing him gold tablets. The Indians told them that they took it off the walls from the pyramid in the jungle. All right. So it says the interior of the temple was literally a mine of gold. On the western wall was emblazoned a representation of the deity, consisting of a human countenance looking forth from amid innumerable rays of light, which emanated from it in every direction, in the same manner as the sun is often personified with us. All right, so let me just get to this part real quick down here because we're going to get into the mounds in Mississippi. All right. Okay, so it says, Plato says that in Atlantis there was a great and wonderful empire, which aggressed wantonly against the whole Europe and Asia. All right, thus testifying to the extent of its dominion. All right, so Atlantis, or you know, we're talking about here, right? The colonies, this empire extended all the way. They had colonies. They had colonies in Europe and Asia. All right, and it not only subjugated Africa. All right, not only it subjugated Africa as far as Egypt and Europe as far as Italy, but it ruled as well over parts of the continent to with the opposite continent of America, which surrounded the true ocean. We're talking about the Pacific. Those parts of America over which it ruled were, as we will show hereafter, Central America, Peru, and the valley of the Mississippi, occupied by the Mound builders. All right. So let me just real quick.
Man, I mean, think about that, man. Okay, once again, you know, we talk about people that you want to call slaves, but
Yeah.
got walls of gold and temples of gold. I mean,
Yep.
I
Just
mean,
contradicted himself, right? You know, he can give
right.
opinions, but I mean, he's quoting all the facts from these different authors and books, right?
I mean, this is. I mean, yo,
All right. So let me, if you want me to get into this.
go ahead, bro.
All right. So it says the colonies of the Mississippi Valley. All right. So let me see. So if we will suppose a civilized maritime people to have planted colonies in the remote past along the headlands and shores of the Gulf of Mexico, spreading thence in time to the tablelands of Mexico, into the plains and mountains of New Mexico and Colorado. What would be more natural than these adventurous navigators passing around the shores of the Gulf should sooner or later discover the mouth of the Mississippi River? And what more certain than that they would enter it, explore it, and plant colonies along its shores? Wherever they found a fertile soil, all right, we're talking about rich soil, fertile soil, rich black soil. What does Kemet mean? I want y'all to, that's your homework. What does Kemet mean? Is it a place or does it mean rich soil, black soil, a fertile soil? All right, the rich delta soil, the delta, what you may call it, and the now they call it, but we're talking about Mississippi. That's what we're talking about, the now.
That's right.
We're talking about fertile soil. Their outlying provinces would penetrate even into regions where the severity of the climate would prevent great density of population or development of civilization. The results we have presupposed are precisely those which we find to have existed at one time in the Mississippi Valley. The mound builders of the United States were preeminently a river people. Their densest settlements and greatest works were near the Mississippi and its tributaries, says Foster, Prehistoric Races. The navigable streams were the great highways of the mound builders. Mr. Fontaine claims how the world was peopled, that this ancient people constructed levees to control and utilize the bayous of the Mississippi for the purpose of agriculture, all right, agriculture and commerce. The Yasu River is called Yasu Ok Hina, the river of ancient ruins. There is no evidence that they had reached the Atlantic coast. No authentic remains of the mound builders are found in New England states, nor even in the state of New York. This would indicate that the civilization of these people advanced up the Mississippi River and spread out over its tributaries, but did not cross the Allegheny Mountains. They reached, however, far up to the Missouri and Yellowstone rivers, and thence into Oregon. The headwaters of the Missouri became one of their great centers of population, but their chief sites were upon the Mississippi and Ohio rivers. In Wisconsin, we find the northern central limit of their work. They seem to have occupied the southern countries of the state and the western shores of Lake Michigan. All right, their circular mounds are found in Minnesota and Iowa, and some were large ones in Dakota. Illinois and Indiana were densely populated by them. It is believed that the vital center of their colonies was near the junction of the Ohio and Mississippi River. All right, the chief characteristics of the mound builders was that from which they derived their name, the creation of great structures of earth or stone, not unlike pyramids of Mexico and Egypt. Between Alton and East St. Louis, it is the great mound of Cahokia, which may be selected as a type of their work. It rises 97 feet high, while its square sizes are 700 to 500 feet respectively. There was a terrace on the south side of 160 by 300 feet, reached by a graded way. The summit of the pyramid is flattened, affording a platform 200 by 450 feet. It will thus be seen that the area covered by the mounds of Cahokia is about as large as that of the greatest pyramid of Egypt, Cheops, although its height is much less. All right, we already know where's tallest, La Danta, right? In Guatemala, so we ain't worried about the height. The number of monuments left by the mound builders is extraordinarily great. In Ohio alone, there are more than 10,000 tumuli and from 1,000 to 1,500 enclosures. Their mounds were not cones, but four-sided pyramids. Their sides, like those of the Egyptian pyramids, corresponding with the cardinal points. All right? Cardinal points. The mound builders had attained a considerable degree of civilization. They were able to form in the construction of their works perfect circles and perfect squares of great accuracy, carried over the varying surface of the country. One large enclosure comprises exactly 40 acres. At Hopetown, Ohio, are two walled figures, one on a square, the other a circle, each containing precisely 20 acres. They must have possessed regular scales of measurement and the means of determining in angles and computing the area to be enclosed by the square and the circle, so that the space enclosed by each might exactly correspond. The most skillful engineer of this day would find it difficult, says Mr. Squire, All right, who's Mr. Squire? If y'all don't know, he was actually the one who went to survey. The Smithsonian Institute sent him to survey these mounds, and he has a good book, Ancient Mounds of the Mississippi Valley, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good, and you should see everything he found, and all the stuff, and without the aid of instruments to lay down an accurate square of the great dimensions above represented measurements, as they do more than 4/5 of a mile in circumference. But we not only find accurate squares and perfect circles, but also, as we have seen, octagons of great dimensions. All right. So I just wanted to go ahead and read that. I don't know if you wanted me to keep going. I got
That
another.
was solid right there. I mean, you can keep going if you want, man. That was, I mean, because it all ties in. You know what I'm saying? Like I say,
Let me just go. We're gonna go back to the Mayas. All right. We're gonna go back to Queen Mu and the Egyptian Sphinx by Augustus Le Plongeon. All right, Le Plongeon. All right. So it says in the appendix here. Hold on, my fault. All right, it says in the appendix are presented for the first time in modern ages the cosmogonic, notions of the ancient Mayas. All right, rediscovered by me. They will be found identical with those of the other civilized nations of antiquity. All right, not lesser, or I mean, he's saying identical. In them are embodied many of the secret doctrines communicated in their initiations to the adepts in India, Chaldea, Egypt, and Samothracia. The origin of the worship of the cross, all right, where he says the worship of the cross, of that, but we know ancient paleo again, glyphs, right, or writing, or the picto, we have the T or the tau, right, the mark, the sign, the monument.
yeah,
Right? We ain't worshiping any of this stuff. Of that of the tree and of the serpent introduced by India by the Nagas, all right, who raised such a magnificent temple in Cambodia in the city of Angkor Thom. All right, we're going to show you who the Nagas are in the same book, right? So remember, who built this magnificent temple in Cambodia? The Nagas. All right, we're just talking about you. All right, Nagas, what they call you now. All right, what they call you in Ethiopia. Negus, king, Negus, Nagas, and what they call you today. All right, the Akshapat of the Mayas. So he's saying that this temple in Cambodia that was made for their god, the seven-headed serpent, which is the same as the Akshapat of the Mayas, and afterward carried his worship to Akkad and to Babylon. All right, so where did this originate? In the Mayas, and it was carried from there to India, it says, to Akkad and to Babylon, not the other way around. All right. So it says here, the wisdom was no doubt brought to India, from there carried to Babylon and Egypt in very remote ages by those Maya adepts. All right. Nakal, the exalted, who starting from the land of their birth as missionaries of religion and civilization went to Burma, where they became known as the Nagas. Just talking about you. Established themselves in the Deccan, whence they carried their civilization work all over the earth. All right, if you know the history of, if study Hindu history, whatever, they'll tell you who the original Aborigines they call. They call their Aborigines the Nagas. All right, the serpent or snake kings. All right. So, I mean, we just, showing some books here and there, just trying to, show you a correlation in many different ways. All right. I don't know if you got something else.
oh man, I mean, that right there, it's just it's all about showing the correlation and how you can comprehend and how this information can help you take things further. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people I know, you know, we got more that study than others, and we got people who already been studying. You know what I'm saying? It's time to really just focus on who you really can build with and really vibe with and grow something with in real life, man. You know what I'm saying? I know we share these books and we share a lot of this information And to most people, it may not even do nothing for them, you know. But I appreciate everybody who listens and everybody that take the time to tune in to really see what we're doing right here. This is, we know, we're not trying to make this something where
You know,
you have to keep listening to us. If you need more sources or more people to listen to, you know, I don't mind shouting them out. You know what I'm saying? That can give you information that can cover these type of subjects. We just feel like we try to give the books the information that people don't have every day or never ran across that can help give you a higher perspective on what you know already. You know, so
yeah, you know, and you know, we gotta get back to building. I know that whenever you're the most positive, whenever you're tuned in with your creator and you're building with your family and your tribes and you know your brothers and sisters, there's always gonna be static. You know, that's when you know you're doing the right things. When you got, you know, if you don't have haters, you know, you're probably not doing something right. You know, so when you're doing the most, you know, when you're trying to build and when you're trying to, you know, enlighten others and teach what you know, like share what you learn, you know, you're always gonna get static, you know, and that's what we were talking about in the beginning of this video, right? Like as you can see, Jaguar, you know, AP does it, A1, you know, King Drop, a lot of PUB News, all these people, they go in, man, they go in, we go in hard. You know, we're not here for entertainment or to basically address, you know, static and just be debating and fighting people and, you know, going back and forth like with children, you know, like we're in high school still. And you gotta respect the build. You gotta respect. You can't come in here, you know, trying to create static with you know, like we said already from the beginning. You gotta prove everything you're saying. All right, and you know why are you choosing to be the other side of the polarity? Why? I mean, we got bigger enemies, right? I mean, look what we're showing you. Look what we're trying to show you, and you know, we got people who's been hiding this, you know, from way back. And what happens, right? We helped them, right? How did they get a hold of all this land, all this civilizations, all this greatness we had? How did it happen? How did it flip like that? Because they had help, right? They had help from our same people. And that one thing is certain, you know, one thing is certain is that history repeats itself. And we can't be letting same old static, same old bad behavior, same old negative actions repeat. All right, we're done with that, man. We got bigger things coming. We got the 2020 census. We got, I mean, this is, you think they're building a wall and they're creating all this. You think they don't know that we're building in the background? You think they don't see these videos? You think I'm serious. You know, it's gonna sound like a joke, but you think Trump and all these people don't see this stuff? All right, while you and you know creating static in the background, you're trying to bring hate and create static in the background, right? Well, we got bigger fish to fry. You know, we just ignore people like you, right? You know,
I know I see what okay, like what's I don't understand something for a second. I mean, now for one, man, as I'm looking at the chat, you know what I'm saying? Um, I'm a little confused. I don't understand, you know, and I'm not even trying to do this on live air like this. This is not, you know, this ain't got nothing to do with everybody. But you know, whatever personal issues need to be addressed with whoever, you know, I think they need to be addressed. And I don't, you know, in my eyes, and you know, from what I done seen since I've been on YouTube, uh, there's only been a few people who done attack people like real personally and really tried to damage people's character. You know, I don't now, you know, people I've been dealing with, I don't know, you know, I don't know anybody that has actually attacked or damaged anybody that I deal with or has been on my panel or any panel that I have been on. You see what I'm saying? So if there's any type of shade going on with anybody, you know, if it's not helping build everyone as a whole, uh, then you know what's the actual problem that needs to be resolved? Because if I can't tell you something to help you do something better, or if you can't do that for me, there needs to be no discussion or no dialogue anyway. And it can stop from there because no one knows each other personally on YouTube. Let's just be clear here. We're
Yeah.
adults.
Yeah. And I, nobody. I mean, I definitely didn't blog you, or ashamed to be here. Whatever you're saying, no shade to Premier block me for no. I didn't block you at all. I don't know what you're talking about. So don't start that, man. I mean, that's what I'm saying. What what are you trying to prove, man? Like, I don't even know who you are, man. All right. I mean, I was addressing other people. I didn't know you were coming at me too. All right. So I mean, it's okay, man. Whatever. But like I said, it's we're building, and people have personals. People hold grudges and stuff, and it sucks that we have to do this on a live and interrupt our build. All right, because we don't want that in the chat. We ain't trying to. We want our followers to be listening and paying attention and sharing things. We don't want no static in the chat.
It's not. No, we not. My channel is strictly for information. That's why I always show sources. You see what I'm saying? You show sources.
All right, so hold on.
They show sources.
Kerry Bay, what's up, man? Like, what do you mean?
What's going on? Like with
what? How am I stunting people? Go ahead, prove it. Go ahead. How am I stunting people? Like, what are you talking about, man? So you got a person with me on the back chat, so you want to come here and try to make me look bad, right, on the live? That don't play here, Kerry. People know the realness. I mean, my work speaks for itself. Whoever wants to believe people like Kerry and everybody else, I mean, I don't care to have y'all as followers. Then, I mean, I'm not here to make friends. Listen, man, our ancestors paid a heavy price. All right, like Jaguar just told you in the beginning of this program, his grandma just died. Who told him he was he's indigenous to this land? All right, she wasn't making nothing up. All right, this is real right here. This is real. We're supposed to be family. All right. I don't know what your guys' agenda and what you guys are trying to prove. All right. Don't bring the backshot beef over here. People don't know about that. People don't need to know about that. And if you got stuff, do it. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and post it.
This should have never
That's what I thought, Kerry. I am the proof. Yeah, that's what I thought. You have none.
This is the thing, man. This is the thing. Like, y'all know me and y'all know who I am. Whatever situation needed to be resolved should have been resolved by now. Why y'all bringing this on my channel? Like, what to be talking about all this when we sitting up here trying to get the people to unite, and y'all in the chat talking about, I don't even understand what y'all talking about. LJ.
Damn right. And if anybody missed why I did it, I don't care. If anybody missed why I did it, I don't care. All right. But you was in the chat from the beginning. You guys can see who was creating static from the beginning, and we were building at that time. We don't got time for that in the chat. Like I said, all right, I can admit I blocked. I'll tell you right now who I blocked. I blocked Doodoo Vision and I blocked LJ on this live. All right. There's some personal going on in the background, so they want to come in the live and try to bring static, right, while we're building, right? All right, so I let you guys speak for a while. I let you speak for a while, LJ, until you started attacking. You were waiting for the moment. All right, don't worry. All right, Doodoo comes in here right away with the static, all right, in the background. All right, we don't need. I'm sorry about this, Jaguar, man. Sorry to bring these people, this static to your channel, man. But it's just like they love it, they love the drama. And they just want to.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, I don't. This is not even on a high vibe right now. Y'all mean to tell me we just lowered these vibrations for? I mean, what?
James, you're not blocked. You're writing on the chat. How are you blocked? What are you talking about? You see who's blocked? I just told you. Doodoo Vision and Elliot, they got blocked. That's why they can't write right now. You're not blocked. What are you talking about? I didn't even know you were there. Yeah, Jaguar went the show. Yeah. Answer what? I'm not here asking questions. I didn't ask her a question, TMH.
This
What are you talking about? Don't bring your personal back chat, personal beef over here. What are you talking about? Answer. And then I never asked her anything. When did I? Everybody's here. When did I ask LJ anything? Oh, you're due to vision ashamed to be here. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Now I know. You see? Oh my gosh.
let's see.
You see? So yeah, come with a different alias. Why do you have to hide all the time, man? Why you got like 10 different aliases, dude?
Well, this is my thing, man.
I didn't make any accusations. I blocked her right away because of what she was writing in the chat. It wasn't about building, and you know it. Don't try to act. Don't come over here trying to act and try to make people look bad. This ain't the back chat, TMH. You ain't in control here. All right?
All right, man. So that's what we gonna do. We gonna I'm gonna end this live, and if we, we're gonna get in the back chat for the few, that if we need to be resolving some stuff in the back real quick, y'all let me know for the few. You know what I'm saying? We can get in the back right now and settle this, because this don't need to be going on while we actually building. You know what I'm saying? We actually creating a way here. We helping people identify. We helping people teach people in their family who we can connect and unite with, who we are, where we come from, so we know where to go. It's time to vibe up, man. Y'all, come on, y'all. This is real, man. This ain't no game. We don't know if we're gonna be here tomorrow or tonight. How you know you gonna wake up? It ain't no fucking game. Straight up. We need to meet up in the back and just resolve this, because I done met some good people, and I hate to just dismiss good people for some macro crap, man. Straight up, man. Shit gotta end. We got real elders that's trying to get along and get on the program. They don't even know how to use Google Hangouts.
Exactly, man.
And we on here, y'all already trying to bring, like, come on, man.
All right, if you don't know, that same people right there, just so you know, TMH, LJ, Carrie, and Doodle have a private chat. They've been coming at us. I had to block Doodle in the back chat because he did a video. Go to his channel right now, talking about where's Cootie Mail, where in the world is Cootie Mail. Why are you doing videos like that, Doodle? What's the point of that? I've never been gone. I'm here. I've been here. I'm still dropping videos. What are you talking about? You could have just reached to me in the back in the hangout. What do you mean? Where's Cootie Mail? You want views? You want clout? I don't know what you guys want. All right? I don't know what you guys want, you know? And I'm not the only one you're attacking, so don't act like it's just me. All right? You're attacking good people. All right? You're attacking good people. And time's going to tell. Time's going to tell who's the real ones and who's the fake ones, who's snaking it. Time's going to tell. It's going to be your downfall. I'm telling you straight up. Me. All right?
That's right, man. And I just gotta, I can only speak for people's actions and what I know I see from people, man. I don't know what's going on. So however we gotta do this, we gotta handle this. But other than that, man, don't be coming on my live no more talking all this crazy nonsense and confusing people in the chats and stuff, and don't nobody know what y'all talking about. Like, straight up, man. So is we gonna set this up or what? Y'all let me know. I'm waiting. I ain't seen no answers yet. If not, we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep building, and the right people gonna unite, and the right people gonna keep progressing. You know what I'm saying? It's all fine and dandy. You know. All right, James Flame said set it up. You see what I'm saying?
That's what he wants, man. This ain't no entertainment. That's the whole point, man. You get no clout, man. Not from me. You get no clout from me. I ain't setting up nothing. I don't debate fools like you, man. Alright, ignorance, I don't debate. Cootie mail, we build and meditate. Matrix, kill the hate. Prophets back, so it's too late. Renegade, hijack assassin. I stay exposing these lies I'm masking. I'm taking back what's mine, no more asking. Come in peace, but if you resist, we blasting. Holy wars, but we outlasting. Dragons breathing fire. Alright, you're gonna see smoke come out of my mouth soon. I ain't playing with you, man. What you think? You think I just read books and do videos? You think that's all I do? It's funny to be a big man behind Google Hangouts and YouTube chats, right? That's so funny, man. I respect everybody. You don't see me doing videos about debating or doing negative stuff. We're here building with Jaguar. All right, we're here building on Jaguar's channel. All right, you got your opportunity. You guys saw your opportunity to come bring static. You send your first goon out or whatever. You can't control him. He came out first. Then you send your other little goon. Now you guys are here. All right, I haven't blocked you guys. I haven't blocked you, and don't say I blocked you. Shame to be here. Nobody knew. I didn't know you were doo-doo. You try to come here. People don't know you're doo-doo. People trying to act like I'm blocking people. All right, don't come over here with that static, man. The real ones know, man. The real ones, you real, you know. You follow these people, you're fake as shit. Straight up. You believe in all these lies without asking them to prove it. All right, stop spreading lies on good people, man. False witness. That's one of the commandments. Stop spreading lies on good people.
All right, man. Look, y'all. I apologize to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Those who realize later when they watch the build, you know, if you don't want to tune into this, hopefully I can probably edit this and get this part out of there because really it's about the bill. It ain't about what nobody personally feel and thinking about going on or whatever. This should have never happened like this. But I ain't finna let nobody just say whatever and not, you know, come from the heart with where they at, man. So, you know, much love and respect to the chat. I appreciate the fam for tuning in, man. It just threw me off. I'm already going through something. I'm really upset like hell. You know what I'm saying? My grandma just passed Friday. You know what I'm saying? We ain't had a funeral yet. You know, and I got all of a sudden I'm coming in live and it's all type of I don't even know what's going on. But we about to handle this and it's gonna be all right. So I appreciate the love, y'all. And for those who tune in, you know, I apologize. I did not mean to let this get distracted like that. Just things is going on that shouldn't be going on.
I apologize, Jaguar, you know, and to everybody in the chat, you know, you guys saw a side of me that you don't see, but I ain't faking it. That's me. That's be keeping it real. That's how passionate I am about this. You know what I mean? Like I said, our ancestors paid a big price. All right, our ancestors paid a big price. We can't repeat history. All right, these are the same people that will do treaties again and help us get enslaved again. I'm not having that anymore.
No,
right? Real. It's not gonna happen again. Don't bring your static. Don't bring your lies. Don't bring none of that over here. And if you believe these people, then whatever, man, you know, ask them to prove it. Post whatever you say you have received. So post it. I'm not ashamed of what I do or say. I walk with Hawa. You don't use his name in vain. Because I know you ain't down with it. Because I know you somebody's boy. All right, who doesn't like that word. So don't even play like that.
All right, man. So we finna end it up, y'all. We'll get it right. And like I say, keep the energy up. Go spend time with your family. Go see your people. Go let them know what we supposed to be doing. Let them know what we gonna be doing, and let them know what we will be doing. So we can all work on one unity. It don't have to be on the same accord. It don't have to be all at the same time. Just let it be unified and let us all stand for something, or we gonna fall for anything. So Much love to y'all, man. I appreciate the chat. Appreciate my subscribers. Thumbs up the video. Like I say, hopefully I can get this little last part off of here. So I just appreciate the love, y'all. And shout out to you, Corey Mayo. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. You know what I'm saying? The Ohio player pegs. Shout out to James. Yeah, we gonna get it set up. Carrie Bay, too girly. Don't worry, too girly. It's getting straight. Everything gonna be handled. LJ Free, Taino Fury. What's up, big bro? You know what I'm saying? Uh, I am you. Kiowa, Peace, bro. Mark Walton, FRZ. Shout out to you, bro. Much respect, man. Appreciate that too, Art. No problem, man. She in a better place, man. She vibing with everybody. Tech Tekusma, or is it that's a how. I'll just say a how. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, bro.
Brother Wolf. That's Brother Wolf.
Ancient American Dion, Nature Being. Shout out to you, peace. Black Indian immigrated, peace. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all, man. Anybody out? If I miss Henry Copeland, peace. TMH, peace, man. We can see you in the back. Who else? I'm scrolling through, man. I'm just trying to make sure I get everybody because I apologize for the interruption. So when I miss anybody, y'all, I shout y'all out. Much love. It's no disrespect. It's all peace and unity, y'all. So let's keep it up and let's keep it high. So let's keep it rocky, y'all.
Yeah. Keep coming with videos. We're gonna keep building. All right. Nothing's gonna stop us.
All right, y'all. Peace.